Hello everyone, this is Introvert Shy Guy and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Okay, so where we left off, we're now in the the Hanako arc. I was about to say the Emmy arc. The Hanako arc. We hung around with her for a little bit, then we helped out Misha and Shizune, like doing stuff and everything, and so yeah, we done that, so now we're just continuing onward. Anyways, today is January the 29th, so yeah, let's get started. Load, rise and shine. I wonder what that might be. Alrighty. Chirping birds. Normally this would be a good time to reflect upon the beauty of nature. But it is 6 a.m. I wonder if there was a chirping bird sound effect when I woke up, but because I had to stop and I don't know, who cares. But it's 6 a.m. Covering my head with the pillow, I slam my face. Oh, I get it. I was like, wait, why? And then I realized, oh, he woke up at 6. 6 in the morning. So, covering my head with the pillow, I slam my face into the mattress, hoping that the impact will send me instantly back to sleep. Why the fuck would that? Like, it's not like you're knocking your head against a wall or something, and that's kind of dangerous, but, futile. I mean, like, that's pointless, right? Why do that? I toss and turn, but sleep simply won't return to me. That's so funny. It's like he's trying to sleep now, but it's like in the Emmy arc, that would be like no issue because he would have to wake up this early. But it's the Hanako arc, so he gets to have more sleep than before. The Emmy arc. What I mean. Anyway, all right, nature, you've won. See, I'm getting up now. The lack of sleep weighs my mind down, and there's only one remedy for this: a nice hearty breakfast. Ooh, that's nice. It would be nice to be the first person here. To be the first to dig into a piping hot pile of food to sit wherever I desire. It would have been nice. But even my exceptionally early start has put me behind the most diligent students. I guess there are quite a few people that have early starts here for one reason or another. A group of students in sports clothes huddle around one table, eagerly discussing game plans in between inhaling great gulps of food. Yeah, the sports students, right? Just like when Hisayo had to wake up early for the Emmy arc to do running, so that makes sense. Scattered around the hall are a number of bleary-eyed students, probably suffering from the same ailment as myself, noisy birds. Alignment, I don't know why I said that. And of course, there are the people that actually enjoy getting up this early, the ones with their bags stuffed with textbooks and completed homework. It's hard not to despise people like that, even more so when you're tired yourself. Picking out a familiar face from the thin crowd, I head towards the nearest table. Lily sits alone, delicately feeling her way around a small plate of eggs with her fork. It's almost a shame to interpret her and her clockwork movements. Yeah, it's weird. I've never known her to wake up I played her arc, but I don't remember her waking up that early. I mean, maybe she does, and, Hisaya's probably the only one that has an average sleep schedule. I don't know. I wonder, is this how a blind person zones out, simply moving in predetermined patterns learned over the years, just like how a sighted person would eat while reading a newspaper? Yeah, that's a good point. Good morning, Lily. I didn't expect you to be here this early. Oh, Hisaya, you startled me. I didn't know you took breakfast this early. I don't. This is an exception to the rule. I'd greatly prefer to be late to school than early to breakfast. Lily gives a small sigh at my admitted tardiness as I begin eating my food. It doesn't take long for her to lapse back into her previous mindless nibbling. Each short motion lacks energy. I suppose this is similar to letting your eyes wander while performing any ordinary chore. But after a few repetitions of the find food/eat food cycle, Lily puts down her fork and dabs her lips with a napkin. Hisayo, do you mind if I ask you a question? Damn, all I want is a little food and about 4 hours of sleep, and nobody says, can I ask you a question for a simple question? The music stopped. This could be something big, who knows? Sure. Do you think of Hanako as a friend? Oh, you're getting right into it, aren't you? Huh, this seems like a leading question. I guess so. Why do you ask? No real reason. I do have another question though. Why is it that you think of her as a friend? This is well above my level. What is she expecting from me? I'm not really sure. I guess it's because she's a little different in the way she deals with people. Since I've known her, she hasn't really connected with anyone. She doesn't seem interested in other people, and I think people are a little scared off by her appearance. Really? I thought that kind of thing was well discouraged here, discriminating and such. If I were to put it one way, she furrows her brow in thought, a move which makes me slightly anxious as to what she's plucking from her mind. I'd say that you're a little naive. Naive? I'd be insulted if not for the slightly cynical grin on her face. I see. While Yamaku has a stronger sense of community compared to other schools, it's far from being free of conflict. Rules cannot remove human nature after all, only suppress it. That's something I've noticed actually. Just little things like how certain people in cliques avoid each other in the hallways. It's no different than my old school, really. Even Lilly and Shizune could be considered bitter rivals, even though they both seem like fairly accepting people. Well, at least the Misha-tinted Shizune does. Who knows what actually goes on with her fingers and behind her glasses. I guess you're right, but when I first came here, everything was a bit of a shock. I kept on making mistakes, or at least thinking I was making mistakes, like when we first met and I said I see to you. I didn't know if that was considered rude or anything, so I tried to just put it in the back of my mind, treating people any differently and that kind of thing. So I didn't. I told myself that Hanako and you and everyone else was just normal, and I tried to ignore the obvious. I talked to Hanako as if she were any other person, and so we became friends. At least that's how I think it happened. But you know, I feel guilty just from saying something like that aloud, as if it took extra effort to think of Hanako or you or anyone here as normal people. I don't think that's right. Hisayo, I think you are naive, but I also think that you are a good person. It is perhaps one of your better traits. I suppose I can take that as a compliment. Tell me, are you free tonight? If you don't count homework, then I'm as free as the breeze. In that case, would you care to join myself and Hanako for tea? I don't really have that much money at the moment, so going out isn't really... Oh, I didn't mean going out, just here this evening. You can access the classrooms in the evening here. Wait, did Hisayo said that, or I thought it was Lilly that said that. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm just curious. Oh, okay, yeah, he said that as you can access the classrooms in the evening here. There you go. It was supposed to be like as a question, and coming from Hisayo, I thought it was from Lilly. I'm sorry, like, you know, you want tea? The classrooms are available in the evening, kind of thing. So I was just trying to make sure. I want to make my reading kind of. Because I know it's not that perfect, but I still would like to, you know, keep track of who's saying what and all that stuff, so I try my best, I would say. Anyway, no, that's not what I meant. Hanako and I often use my room for tea parties together. Please feel free to drop by after dusk. Oh, is it gonna be kind of like when Hisayo visited and they were all in pajamas? I wonder if that's gonna happen again. I'm curious about that. I don't know if it's either going to be like that or something different. I don't know, but we'll see. Sure, I see no problem with that. What's your room number? 225, room 25 on the second floor. Okay, sure. That's actually weird, like 225, room 25. Why not just say room 25 on the second floor? Or maybe it is 225, but, you know, they say 25 on the, you know. It's kind of similar also in my university with first floor is 100, second floor 200, that kind of thing, so. Well then, I'd best be off. I have class representative duties to attend to after all. Until this evening, Hisayo. Yeah, catch you later. Hang on, was I just invited to a girl's room after hours? Is that even allowed? Yeah. There's a curfew here, but I've never heard any rules about visitors in the dorm rooms. Even still, this is enough to get my sleep-deprived brain jump-started. Yeah, who wouldn't refuse to not all if you have intense anxiety, but I mean, if you have a crush on a girl and she invites you to her room, like, fucking take that shit. I mean, of course, it's not, the one that invited me is the girl that I have a crush on, the friend, according to this arc, if you know what I'm saying, so, yeah. With that to a lukewarm breakfast, and you have one hell of a pick-me-up. I grudgingly go to class, still a little excited at the prospect of breaking the rules. I feel a little like a kid planning to sneak out of his window at night. Well, maybe that's going a little too far, but when you compare an invitation to a party to 6 or so hours of lectures, I know which one wins. Misha and Shizune do little to relieve my boredom either. For once, they seem determined to actually complete Mitao's assignments. Nevertheless, the day eventually winds to a close. I hurry back to my room to wash up and comb my hair. Thankfully, I don't run into Kenji. Before long, I am leaving the boys' dorm. Okay, let's see if the same pajama scene, like, I don't know if I'd read that part again. I mean, I guess I could, but, you know, how long is that till it gets to something different? That's what I'm wondering. So, either it's going to be like the pajama scene or something completely different, but we'll see. I nervously rap on the door marked 225, checking my watch once again. And I wonder if it's also her birthday, because it was her birthday when when I went to their room and stuff, and like celebrated by giving her first Hanako a doll present and then getting drunk and all that stuff. That was pretty funny. But I doubt the same thing might happen again. It might, I don't know. 225, checking my watch once again. Is that you, Hisayo? The door is open. You can come in. Lily's voice lilts through the door and soothes my nerves. Lilts, never heard of that word. This is the first time I've been invited to a girl's room after dark. Even though I know there is no ulterior motive behind this invitation, it doesn't stop my mind running wild with possibilities. Oh, you're thinking of, like, maybe dirty thoughts or some shit? I don't know. That's what I would be thinking of, but, you know. One guy, 2 girls in a dorm room with a tea set. When I put it like that, it sounds a little dodgy. Giving a small sigh to steady myself, I gingerly put my hand on the handle and opened the door, craning my head to see inside. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. The door opens completely and I catch my first glimpse of Lily's room. You know what, I think I'll probably just read this again, like, you know, just because. Her furniture looks almost antique, but the bare walls and flat surfaces are barely decorated at all. In the center of the room sits a low table where I see a small tea set at rest. Oh, did they even have tea before? I wonder. I think they did, but, you know. It seems that everything in this room has its place, possibly excepting the several piles of books stacked up against the wall. My sense of vision isn't the only one to be stimulated. The faint smell of something can be picked up on the air. Nail polish, perfume, makeup. It's hard to describe in any way other than girly. My eyes finish their quick sweep of the room before returning their position onto the girls. Lily sits next to a small table wearing very dark blue pajamas with shorts that show off plenty of her alluring pale legs. Opposite her, Hanako sits adorned in a conservative light pink gown. Her hands are firmly fixed between her legs, her shoulders forward and her head down as if trying to hide herself in it. It would be easy for her to do. It looks about 2 sizes too big for her. Waves of flannel flow from her frame, making her look like a child playing dress-up in her parents' clothes. She looks up to confirm my identity, and the beginnings of a thin smile creep across her face before vanishing so fast that I can't be sure they ever were there. There's no point in you standing in the doorway, Hisayo. I take a step into the room, closing the door behind me. You know, I noticed there's a difference to the scene. If you go for the Lilly route, he basically explains how... oh, the music just stopped like that. Okay. It just explains how Lily's pajamas, like, you know how beautiful she looks and, like, how the curves and stuff that are shown and everything. He goes into detail with that, and then if you go to and if you look at Lily, he just says that and all that and all that stuff, and then moves on. But then in this part, you know, in the Hanako arc, basically does the opposite. Says something about Lily's pajamas and then goes into slight detail with Hanako's pajamas. But it makes sense because, you know, it's the two arcs. I just want to point that out. I just like that little difference right there. Hence, that's why I kind of didn't want to skip. I had a feeling that there should have been some differences with the dialogue depending on the arcs you choose. Anyway, I take a step into the room, closing the door behind me. My, I'm afraid this really is a small room for the three of us. Would you like to take a seat? I slowly walk to the table and sit down, trying my hardest not to disturb anything along the way. You know, I also wonder if maybe the sight of the two girls in pajamas was a huge shock to him in the Lilly arc compared to this one, whereas he just, like, opened the door and looked around the room and then, like, you know, I felt it was kind of casual or nonchalant compared to the Lilly arc. I mean, although I could be mistaken, but, you know, that's just how I feel. If I can remember, I have kind of watched some of the old videos because I do love rewatching the Lilly arc. I do watch the Lilly arcs, the recordings from time to time because it's really that good, you know. But anyway, I slowly walk to the table and sit down, trying my hardest not to disturb anything along the way. I also can't help but steal a quick glance into Lily's top as I sit. To be robbed of sight would be a most terrible fate. Well, now, how about some tea? Hanako, could you please pour? I love how he was checking Lily out and stuff. Sure, Hisayo, would you like? Also, apologies for the background. Even though I'm in a new apartment, you could still hear the sounds. So, but I mean, it can't be done. But I'm gonna continue anyway. So, I would love some tea. Do you need a hand? No, I'm fine. Thank you. Lily finds it difficult to resist a smile at her companion's nervousness, something I can't really blame her for. Been a tiring day. Yeah. I know that was a question and I said it as if there's a period, but, you know. I relax at my place opposite of the cabinet. To my left is the blue-clad Lily, and to my right sits the pink Hanako. Is their dress really blue? I feel like it's kind of black, you know. According to my computer screen. I don't know if it's probably different for you guys, but maybe darkish blue, but it just looks black to me. And to my right sits the pink Hanako. The tea set on the table looks cute as well as practical, painted red with a floral motif. Yeah, they didn't have tea before, and obviously I do remember that. Is her sister's name Akira? Akira was also in the same room, and that's when she gave them some like alcoholic beverages, and then they started like drinking and all that stuff. But I guess in this one, it's just having tea. So let's see as well practical, yeah, with floral motif. It looks odd when contrasted with Lily's plain but generally sophisticated-looking furniture, which leads me to think that Hanako might have picked it out. There's a slight tinge. Is it ting or tinge? I don't know. When Hanako accidentally clips the teapot on a cup as she is pouring. Oh, it's ting. Yeah, there we go. I thought it was like describing color or something, but then when I heard the teapot and the cup and stuff, I was like, oh, the sound and stuff. So yeah. She breathes in sharply. She must be really nervous, as it's not the kind of thing anyone would worry about. Hanako quivers at her mistake. It's okay, Hanako. There's no need to be nervous. Hanako seems to find some confidence in Lily's reassuringly soft-spoken words and deftly pours the next two cups. Here you are, Hisayo, Lily. Hanako carefully places a cup and saucer in front of Lily and myself. I could get used to service like this. Thank you, Hanako. Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. Lily searches for her cup and upon finding it, sips delicately. I do the same. This tea tastes somewhat better than the tea we usually have at school. This is nice. It's so different from any tea I had before. Looks like you picked the right one, Hanako. You've done well, even if it was a bold move. Oh yeah, what is it? Hanako's smile returns redoubled. Even with her blighted face, her shy smile couldn't be called anything but cute. I'm glad you like it. Hanako, finally beginning to relax, sips from her cup. I think back to my chat with Misha the other day. Is Hanako's behavior something to be concerned about, or is she just shy? And then there was Lily earlier this morning. The concern from both of them seemed to be genuine, and they know the situation better than I. But really, how could I possibly help? I'm no plastic surgeon, so I can't really help her appearance, nor am I a psychologist who can make her more sociable. So what the hell do Lily and Misha want me to do? It's frustrating. Hanako and I are quickly becoming friends on our own accord, and because of that, it's like everyone wants me to solve all her problems. And I have no idea how to do that. No one can cure my heart, nor Lily's eyes, nor anyone who is here in this school. However, I see no harm in becoming better friends with Hanako. Now that she's warming up to me, I kind of enjoy hanging out with her. So, Hisayo, are you enjoying yourself? Lily's words break me out of my reverie, and I take a second to reconsider where I am. I'm in a room with two girls in their bedclothes. This is something to be enjoyed. Yeah, it's relaxing, almost like I'm not in the school anymore. Do you often do you do this often? I was about to say, do you often do this? I don't know. Quite often, but not as often as we take tea in the school building. Considering they do that nearly every day, that's not a big surprise. As I move to take another sip from my teacup, I find it sadly empty. That was delicious. Thank you, Hanako, Lily. You're welcome. Yes, you're most welcome, Hisayo. It's nice to have a third person here. Well, anytime you need someone to fill that position, I'm always available, always. One must be sure to get one's point across in these circumstances. Lily lets loose a yawn, which she successfully hides with her hand. Pardon me, I think I'm a little tired. I think we're all a little tired. I also loved how by the time I got to the next part of reading, the song ends at a perfect time where it's the ending part, not the looping part, and so then there didn't need to be a fade out. It just ends right there. I just like to point that out as the perfect timing, you know? I think we're all a little tired. My, how astute we are tonight, Hanako. We really should head to bed. We all have class tomorrow. Yeah, I should go. Thank you for your presence, Hisayo. Thanks. You'll come again? Not even a whole army could stop me. I'm impressed by your determination, Hisayo. Either way, you're right. We best get going. I stand up and make for the door. Hanako gingerly stands up behind me. I stop and face her. Are you coming with me? Hanako instantly blossoms into full blush. No, not. This room isn't. Oh, that's not her. That's not her room, is it? It's Lily's room, obviously. It's okay. I was only joking. Oh, okay. Good night. Good night, Hanako. Good night, Hisayo. Yeah, this is obviously I don't know. Does Lily live? She lives by herself, right? And Hanako goes into her own room. I mean, I'm only saying this because I do remember. Of course, she slept in the same room here because they all got drunk and stuff. So you know, but then I assumed that did they sleep together? But I don't think so. You know, I'm pretty sure they. It's not. I mean, of course, it's not unusual. I mean, Emmy and Rin, they kind of live in the same room, so you know. But yeah, good night, Hanako. Good night, Hisayo. Night all. Night all. I never heard anyone say that. And with that, our tea party finishes. I'm still not sure what it is that Lily wants me to do for Hanako, but I don't want to let her down. I wait until the door has closed behind us before turning to Hanako. Hey Hanako, do you know you don't... Hey Hanako, you know you don't have to be nervous around me or anything. I mean, we're friends, right? Right, we're friends. If you ever want to hang out or anything, just let me know. We still need to have that chess rematch, remember? Sure. But I don't think you'll win. It wouldn't be any fun if it was easy. Hanako seems to give a muted laugh, but she could have just as easily been exhaling. Good night, Hisayo. With that, Hanako quickly retreats into her room located next to... Oh, okay, yeah. So she has her own bedroom, located next to Lily's. I start to walk back to my dorm, but the simple act of walking seems to drain me of my energy. I barely make it to my room before I am hit by a wave of exhaustion. I kick off my shoes, fall into bed, and fall asleep by the time my head hits the pillow.